Cowboys defensive end Marshawn Kneeland dead just 3 days after scoring his first ever touchdown against the Arizona Cardinals. He was just 24 years old. The team confirming Marshawn died suddenly Thursday morning. The star was in the middle of his second season with the Cowboys, and in a statement, they call him a beloved teammate and member of our organization. They're extending thoughts and prayers to his loved ones who were by his side when he was drafted in the second round last year.
The Dallas Cowboys select Marshawn.
We're going to put a star on that helmet. We are excited about you being a Dallas Cowboy.
Enjoy this day. It's a great moment.
Yes, sir.
All right,
I won't let you down, man.
Marshawn's agent, Jonathan Persley, describing the death as a pain I can hardly put into words. He adds, Marshawn poured his heart into every snap, every practice, and every moment on the field. His work ethic, something Marshawn credited to his mom, Wendy, who died unexpectedly as he was training for the NFL Scouting Combine only months before he was drafted.
How tough was that loss for you?
It was real hard. I didn't want to talk to nobody. Looking back at it, I was like, okay, we was kind of poor, like growing up, but moms, she never complained, never talked about it, never stressed, gave us everything we needed and more. Every day came with a smile, came with love, gave us time, working full time, still taking care of 2 kids pretty much by herself. Without a shadow of a doubt, one of the hardest workers I ever known in my life.
The Cowboys didn't share how Marshawn died, but local authorities are saying the tragedy is the result of a police pursuit. They say Marshawn evaded officers late Wednesday, crashed his vehicle, fled on foot, and shot himself hours later during the search. The Cowboys are on their bye week and not scheduled to return to practice until Monday.
How do you feel about just, the rest of the group being able to step up?
I have faith in all my guys. I think everybody in the room is going to be able to, push forward and, do what we got to do and, make the most of it.
Hey family, welcome back to Designing Your Goodbyes. Today I want to talk about something heavy. He was young, gifted, strong, successful, at least from the outside. But when someone dies by suicide, it often leaves us standing in a fog of disbelief. The question isn't just why did they do it? It becomes, how did I miss it? Or could I have stopped it? If you've ever lost someone by suicide, you know that kind of pain runs deep. It's layered with sadness, confusion, and guilt. Guilt that whispers, maybe I could have prevented it. So today I want to speak directly to that part of your grief, the guilt, the regret, and how to begin healing when you can't make sense of the loss. The first reaction most people have is silence. It's a kind of quiet disbelief that steals your breath. You replay conversations in your mind. He looked fine at the last game. He just posted a photo smiling with his family. And that's the thing about suicide. It often hides behind a well-rehearsed mask. People can be surrounded by fans, friends, and family and still feel painfully alone. And someone who's worked with hundreds of families on hospice, I've learned that pain doesn't always look like pain. Sometimes it smiles, sometimes it performs, sometimes it shows up on a football field in front of millions. The grief that follows suicide is different because it's not just mourning a life. It's mourning a story you thought you knew. Now let's talk about the guilt. It shows up in the quiet moments. I should have checked in more. He called me that one time. Maybe that was a cry for help. I could have said something different. But here's the truth. Guilt after suicide is often the mind's attempt to rewrite the past. It's a way of trying to take control of something we never actually had control over. We can't fix what you didn't break. You can care deeply for someone and still not be able to carry their pain for them. Some people make choices from a place of unbearable suffering, pain that no one else could see or even soothe. So if you're sitting in guilt right now, I want you to hear this. You didn't fail them. You loved them with the tools and awareness you had at the time. And love, even when it's not enough to save someone, is never wasted. I like to think of guilt as a house guest. It shows up uninvited. It stays too long, but eventually you have to show it to the door. Let's talk about how to begin healing. Here are a few steps I've seen to help people move through the fog of guilt and grief after suicide. The first thing I want you to do is name your guilt, but don't live in it. Say it out loud, write it down, pray about it. The moment you name your guilt, you begin to take its power away. Number 2, find someone who can hold space for your pain. This isn't the time to be strong alone. Talk to a counselor, a pastor, a grief support group, someone who can handle the weight without trying to fix it. Number 3, remember how they lived, not just how they died. Don't let their final chapter erase all the good ones that came before it. Share stories, laugh at old memories. Let their life mean more than their death. Number 4, accept that closure doesn't always mean answers. You might never understand the why, and that's okay. Peace doesn't come from answers, it comes from acceptance. And then finally, give yourself permission to keep living. Sometimes honoring someone's life means living yours more intentionally, doing the things they never got the chance to do. Each of these steps is small, but together they form a bridge. And that bridge doesn't take you back to the life you had, it takes you forward into the life you still have. If you remember nothing else from this conversation, I want you to remember this. Guilt may visit, but it doesn't have to move in. Healing is not about forgetting. It's about finding new meaning in the memories. And grief is just love with nowhere to go. But over time, that love finds its way through stories, through service, through forgiveness, and even laughter again. So today, I want you to check in on the people you love, not out of guilt, but out of care, out of compassion. Because sometimes a simple, how are you really, can make a world of difference. And if you're the one struggling, please reach out. You don't have to carry this alone. You still matter. You're still needed. And you're still a person who has purpose in life beyond the pain that you're experiencing right now. Thank you for spending time with me today at my desk. If this conversation brought you comfort or perspective, I'd love for you to do 3 simple things. Number 1, like this video. It helps others who are grieving find this message. Join this channel. What I'm trying to do is build a community of healing, faith, and honest conversations about death and loss. And then share this episode with someone who might need to hear it today. And if you're ready to go deeper inside of your personal journey with grief, I invite you to read my book, Designing Your Goodbyes. It's available now on Amazon. And inside of this book, I walk you through how to find peace, meaning, and spiritual renewal, even inside of the hardest goodbyes. I want you to remember today that healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means learning how to love again after loss. Until next time, I'm Dr. Dandridge. Thank you for joining me at my desk. This has been Designing Your Goodbyes, reminding you that even in the deepest pain, hope still speaks.